Hi there, my name is Cuppy Kate, and welcome back to Spire Clan. Cats trying desperately to survive in the harshness of an endless winter and ice age. A lot is against them between the freezing temperatures, two legs eating anything they can get their hand on, and the sun has not returned, so these cats must do everything they can to survive. Due to a hot spring that pours inside of this cave, the cats are mostly warm here, but the blizzards keep coming, keep pushing the wind into the cave, and the snow comes with it, howling with its grasp of death. So let's look at our cats that we have. Pete Star is our leader. She's a senior adult female, and she still has 9 lives remaining. She's very smart and she's confident, but I feel as though her confidence is withering away the older and older she gets, seeing that the sun has not returned. She's daydreaming about days past when the sun would warm the skin underneath her fur, and she could take long cat naps on the stones that the sun seemed to bathe in its warmth every day until it disappeared forever. Patchgorse is our faithful deputy who is trying to keep a balance with the clan and keep everyone positive. She's had kits of her own, but she has already lost so many. And even though she's heartbroken, she still tries to remain optimistic and faithful for the rest of the cats in the clan. She too has been daydreaming about days past when she would run into kitty pets before the two legs started using kitty pets for other means. And she's wondering what their food must have tasted like and how awful it must have been, but at the same time her belly gurgles with emptiness and almost wishes she could have that as opposed to an empty belly. Then we have Apricot Leaf, who is proud of their ability to care for their clanmates, but she is still worried about someone replacing her. She needs an apprentice to take her place, somebody young and apt to do so. With her connection to StarClan as strong as it is, she has been praying and begging to them to send her a kit that is strong enough to learn everything she has before she is sent away. And then we have Wolfpaw, who's feeling excited today to learn how to take care of his clan. He is the only surviving sibling of Patchgorse's first litter. He has a lot on his shoulders as far as carrying on the clan, knowing that he was the only sibling to survive. But he knows he can do it. He's very bold and confident, and he believes in Coyote Acorn, or Coyote Acorn, even though she seems a bit insecure. I think in some ways he's hoping to push her too, so that she will feel more confident in herself as well. And then we have Dawnpaw, who's dreading their apprentice duties at the moment. Her apprentice is Rushflood, and she's very ambitious. So we're going to see how she does with Rushflood, and if for any reason Rushflood comes back and says that she's not doing well as a warrior, maybe she is the one to become the Med Apprentice. So Wolfkit found a kit who was all by itself, missing its mother, and brought it back to the clan, but unfortunately, after being exposed to the cold for so long, the kit does not survive. This is going to remind Wolfpaw of his siblings who froze to death, and even though he was too young to really remember what happened, he knows by watching this kit that his siblings suffered the same. Patchgorse and her mate Rushflood and his apprentice Dawnpaw all go out, and they also find a kit without a mother, and they bring this kit back to camp and nurse this kit back to health. And Patchgorse is going to protect this kit with all her heart, because she believes that StarClan sent her this kit to take care of since so many of her own kits had passed. And this is Partridge Kit, who's wearing a green bow. It is the representation of Christmas, a partridge in a pear tree. This little female is quiet. She has yellow eyes, a single color pelt, long fur, so she's quite fuzzy, I imagine, and maybe that helped her stay warm in the freeze that is going on right now. She is only 0 moons old, so she was just born, and it is truly a miracle from StarClan that she survived long enough for Patchgorse to find her. So this is very interesting. Pete Star has come across a loner who offers their healing skills in exchange for shelter. And Pete Star is going to look upon this cat, who hopefully is not an elder, and decide that perhaps this is StarClan sending this cat in hopes of replacing Apricot Leaf when she becomes too old to care for them. So she will proceed cautiously, but after hearing about the clan, this loner healer decides not to join, and so Pete Star now realizes perhaps this was not a gift from StarClan, and will continue the day and the patrol. And so now on the 15th moon, we have Wolf Branch, who has earned their warrior name. But now that they are a warrior, they must prove themselves worthy to take care of the clan one last time and patrol by themselves. Looks like Wolf Branch is a loyal warrior now instead of bold. I love that. Oh, this is not very good. So during his patrol, he got fresh kill and decided to eat it, and now the kits and elders are going to go hungry. Now we don't really have any elders. We'll just say for now that the senior adults did not get to eat, and neither did the kits. And so if the other patrols do not catch food, I may have to roll to see if they survive. I did not expect this. So there was a downpour, and a sudden flood from the overflowing river sweeps all of the cats and the patrol away. So because of our setting doesn't really have a lot of water that isn't frozen, what we're going to say instead is that during a blizzard and a snowfall, a rush of wind causes an avalanche and sweeps all the cats into the snows, and they don't make it out. But we just lost Patchgorse, her mate, Rushflood, and his apprentice are all gone. So now Pete Star is left with a decision she didn't want to make. She is going to have to choose a new deputy, knowing that Patchgorse is gone. So she will look over her cats. Coyote Acorn is too insecure to be a deputy, and she is growing old. Condor Bite is young and confident, and he could potentially be a good deputy, but is he too young to take that responsibility? Kestrel Fire is a full adult. He has had a former apprentice, and he's loving and smart and has lots of experience. He is also a clan founder, and so Pete Star will look at Kestrel Fire and wonder if perhaps this is his time to shine. He does have a mate, Roach Pelt, and so he's going to make a wonderful deputy, and Pete Star decides to promote him to deputy. They have a ceremony, and even though the ceremony is filled with tears and sadness and loss for two huge members of the clan and a small cat that never had a chance, Dawnpaw, they are happy to see Kestrel Fire take the place of Patchgorse, and all the cats believe in him. It is Moon 16, and Pete Star confesses to Monzi Eye that the responsibility of leadership is crushing them, and I imagine that is absolutely true for Pete Star. She has seen friends, cats that she's loved, that she's relied on, that she's trusted, lost to this world they live in now, and she has to make sure these cats survive, and it's not looking good for them. I think losing Patchgorse has hit Pete Star very hard. But Kestrel Fire is doing an excellent job, And one of the things that he will do at the end of patrols is he's going to call a naming ceremony with Pete Star to rename Roachpelt. So Wolf Branch has found another kit that has been left to the elements with no mom in sight. He has brought this kit back and has nursed it back to health. This is a good sign. So now we have little Storm Kit, and I forgot when we got Partridge Kit because it was just such a cute name and she was so adorable. I am still supposed to roll for their survival, and we will have to roll for Storm Kit as well. But this little boy, this quiet kitten, is here saying peace to everybody. That's what it looks like to me, that the little kittens are saying peace. He has a 2-color pelt with a short fur length and green eyes. So let's roll for our kits real quick. I chose a happy pink D6. So since this rolling system is a little different from our experience with the Woods Challenge with Mist Clan, I'm going to actually take a rolling system from there for individual kits that come in to the clan, which is 1 through 4 they live, and 5 and 6 they perish. But I did roll a 4 for Partridge Kit, so Partridge Kit will live. Now that being said, if we have a litter of kits, or if a loner comes in with a litter of kits, we will use this rolling system, which has a different thing for each number. But if we just have a kit that we saved and it comes back to the den, I'm going to use this rolling system instead. All right, Storm Kit. I rolled a 3, so both of these kits will remain in the clan, which is great. And now that the cat's patrols are all finished and they are settled for the evening, Kestrel Fire is going to stand upon the high rock and call a meeting for all of the cats. He is going to perform a ceremony for sweet Roachpelt, who has been very insecure because of what she has been named her whole life. At the moment, she's sharpening her claws a bit so she can appear more beautiful for the ceremony, making sure she's in pristine condition as Kestrel Fire calls her up and performs the ceremony. And he will name her Soft Heart for how soft-hearted she is, how loving she is, and even though she will still be insecure after this, the ceremony itself does lighten her heart at the name that her mate has given her, and she feels very blessed by both her mate and StarClan and Pete Star for having given her this name. So now we are on Moon 17, and Polly finds an abandoned litter and decides to adopt them as their own. So let's go and look at this. So Polly, even though he is a bit of a vengeful warrior, he does seem to have a soft spot for kits. Although he thinks he's growing a bit crazy, he might be surprised at how much energy kits need. So now we have Faded Kit, who is looking around the camp with wonder, a little boy with a marbled pelt and dark blue eyes who's a bit of a daydreamer. We also have Ridge Kit, another little boy, must be his brother, who's a bit troublesome and could possibly be causing a little bit of concern and crazy emotions for Polly. Ah, poor Polly. Unfortunately, we will have to roll for this litter of kits to see if any of them survive, if all of them survive, or if they are taken in the vice grip of the cold. Oh. So I rolled a 1, which means all of the kits freeze to death. And I'm sure that Polly, even though he just brought these kits here, is still stricken with grief. Oh my, it is the 18th moon. Apricot Leaf is severely injured after falling into a river. Perhaps the ice wasn't as thick, and so she nearly died, but she is still alive and still hoping for an apprentice because her age is really affecting her. This one really upsets me. Blue Claw was bitten by a snake and died at 105 moons old. The fact that there is still a snake alive baffles me, but it is possible that the snakes have made their way into the cave because it's warm, And so any snakes that remain and are still alive in this cold climate, they're doing everything that they can to find warmth because they're cold-blooded creatures. And so unfortunately, Boo Claw was in the way and unfortunately died. And then rumors reach your clan that the exiled Kareem has died recently. And while that is tragic, it is what they expected, facing a blizzard each and every day. So both our leader and our medicine cat have reached elderhood. And Pete Star does not have the heart to get rid of Apricot Leaf when no one is there to replace her, and she is still doing her duties at this time. If she was a warrior, this would be much different. If she was the deputy, this would be much different. But because she is a med cat, Pete Star believes that even though she is old and struggling, she still deserves her place, and she is hoping these two kits, Partridge Kit and Storm Kit, may possibly be the one to take her place as an apprentice. This is very encouraging. So Jetblink finds a kitty pet named Pokey who wants to join the clan, and Pokey is now called Pokey Speckle, which is adorable. But that's not what I'm talking about, even though that's amazing. Partridge Paw has chosen to walk the path of a medicine cat. So she has been blessed by StarClan in a way that she was destined to take the place of Apricot Leaf. So let's go look at sweet Partridge Paw. So she's a very loyal cat, which is perfect for a medicine cat. And Apricot Leaf is both relieved and worried about taking on an apprentice. She's hoping that she can set Partridge Paw up to take care of the clan. And then here is Pokey Speckle, who is a male adult warrior who's a little bit on the strange side, but no worries. He has a bit of a nick in his ear from a past injury with blue eyes, but he is ready to help in the way he can. Now, unfortunately, he is a senior adult, so he may not last very long, but the cats are willing to give him shelter so long as he remains useful. It is now the 20th moon, and nothing significant has truly happened. Our clan seems to be doing very well and thriving in its own way. Apricot Leaf is apprenticing Partridge Paw. Pete Star is seeing her clan thrive and knowing that when she passes, they will be safe under Kestrel Fire's lead. Other cats are joining the clan and finding their place. I thought while it was the 20th moon, we could look over all of our cats and see their relationships and see if there are any pairings that we could actually make. Aww, so it looks as though Coyote Acorn has a romantic like for Apricot Leaf, the medicine cat. Now, a medicine cat cannot have kits, but that doesn't mean that they can't love somebody, maybe a little more than the rest of the clan. And seeing that, I think I will pair the two together, and they make it official. It is a dangerous thing to do, and Apricot Leaf has warned Coyote Acorn that she will be exiled as soon as Partridge Paw comes of age. But Coyote Acorn doesn't care. She just wants a few moments, a few days, a few moons even, feeling the love that Apricot Leaf has given her without being afraid to show it. This life is hard, and they shouldn't have to hide their affection. Then we have Condor Bite, who really wants to be chosen as the new deputy, and it means that he might be trying to prove himself. He has a great platonic love for both Apricot Leaf and Kestrel Fire, and Kestrel Fire makes Condor Bite feel very, very secure. He does have a little bit of romantic light for Jetblink. Interesting. Perhaps we should put the two together. They could make kits and help grow the clan. We are going to make it official, even though it's a straight line. That doesn't mean it's bad. That just doesn't mean it's good either. But we're going to give it a shot. Essentially, they're dating right now. So it looks as though Apricot Leaf does truly have a returned romantic like for Coyote Acorn, which is very sweet. I absolutely love that they have that between the two of them and can live out the last of their days with each other. Kestrel Fire also has platonic love for Condor Bite, which is so sweet, as well as Wolf Branch. That makes me so happy. All of our cats seem to get along very well despite how harsh the climate is. Lakestock has a great platonic like for the medicine cat Apricot Leaf, but a little bit of romantic like for Polly, which is very interesting. It's very small right now, so I think it's more of a crush, but that's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. And then we have Pete Star, who has platonic love for Jet Blink. No romantic love for Pete Star, but perhaps she feels as though it is unnecessary at her age. She does kind of dislike Lakestock, but that's the only cat she actually dislikes. And then we have Jet Blink, who also has romantic like for Condor Bite, which is great, but she feels the most secure with Soft Heart and with Apricot Leaf. It looks like everyone truly loves their medicine cat. Soft Heart has platonic love for Jet Blink and does have romantic like for Kestrel Fire, although it is not as strong as it could be, and I wonder why. Monzi Eye has not really been here long enough to make any meaningful relationships, but she does have respect for Lakestock. It seems like she likes Coyote Acorn enough, but everyone else, he's just not quite sure. Wolf Branch has platonic love for Kestrel Fire, unsurprising. Nothing romantic yet, but Wolf Branch is very, very young and is more focused on being a warrior. Polly hasn't really been here long enough to make any significant changes in their relationships, and neither has Partridge Paw or Storm Kit. And Pokey Speckle hasn't been here for very long, but does like Storm Kit quite a bit. Now that we have gone through patrols and hooked up a cat or two, we're gonna skip one moon before we end this episode and see where our cats are now. And it looks as though nothing significant has truly happened. So this was a devastating episode, but it was also an episode where we got to see how these cats work together and how much love they have for each other. That despite the harshness of their environment, surviving each and every day, they truly are a family. And each loss is devastating, each gain is precious, and they're working together to make sure that if this day ever comes that the sun returns, that they are still here fighting for their life. So I hope you liked this episode. If you did, tickle and poke that like button, subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jingle that bell so you're notified of when I post Clan Jin videos. Also, feel free to join Discord to come and chat, or I should say, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me live. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for more of Spire Clan and what unfolds in the moons to come. Bye!